Hey guys, today I'm gonna guide you how to make a face mask. Let's start to prepare some material. We'll need some hardware, some elastic. You can find these at a sewing depot if you're living in Canada or any sewing store supply. Some pattern. Recently I am also selling the pattern on Etsy store with only $2. If you like, you can click on the link below. Choose any fabric that you like. Personally, I'm using this fabric because it's matching with my dress, and I think it's cool to have some zen on the mask. So I would love to try it out. Maybe you could. And also, you may need some pins and turnout tubes. Alright, let's move on to cut the pattern and fabric. So firstly, when you print the pattern, don't forget to see if the pattern have the 1 inch on the square is exactly 1 inch that you have with your ruler. Cut the back and the front of the pattern by using scissor or rotary cutter. It's all up to you. And then we can start to cut the pattern follow with the fabric. I'm using the zen on the top, so I use the woman front mask and cut one. Follow the mask, and if you have some weight, put on the top so that it won't move when you're cutting. Alright, now let's start to cut the back of the mask. I prefer to have a double because the zen is already light and breathe through, so it's good to have a double. Even though we have a pocket, you can add more extra layer inside the pocket if you like. Personally, 2 layers is good for me. And then we also cut the tape for the mask for the top and the bottom of the mask. I'm cutting out 2 inches by 18 inches. Yes, let's start sewing the mask. In this video, I only use a straight stitch. Set up the machine for 2 to 3 millimeters per stitch and start by folding the front layer together in the middle to sew the first dart. Don't forget to go back and forth so that the sewing can be tighter. Cut the thread from the machine and tie the dart with 2 knots so that it won't loose and is more durable when we using it. Then cut the extra threads. Next, we're gonna start to sew the back of the mask with the top of the nose. We're folding it. Same with the front mask. We fold in the middle top of the back mask, folding the right side together, and that's sew. Let's tie the end of the dart again, guys. we knot 2 times to make sure that the stitch line won't break while we using the mask. Guys, my nail is really long, so it's keep falling off, so I would recommend if you love to sew, may need to cut your nails. And then cut the extra threads. Let's start to fold the side of the back mask. Fold it back on the wrong side of the mask and sew it together. This sewing sign purpose is to create a nice sport pocket so that the thread won't break when we use or when we wash it in the future. Yay! Now it's time to matching the mask together. You can use some pin if you want to. For me, I think it's better for me to lining the 2 layers together, especially the middle of the front and the back of the mask together. And we have the tape. We put the tape at the front of the mask and sewing about a 1/2 inch together. Cut the extra thread, take the pin off, and then fold the tape from the outside end. Here you go. There. I always try to make it like a perfect one so that when I sew the front, the top layer of the mask and the under of the tape is on together, because no one have the perfect sewing. And I found that sometimes I didn't sew on the tape, so it's ended up open and look really bad. So always check when the under of the tape and the front sewing is lining together. Cut the extra tape out, and actually it's the best when you put the hardcore on the top when you started sewing the tape, but I forgot, so I use a turn out tubes and put the hardcore in, so it works still. Now let's sew the 2 sides of the hardcore so it won't moving around the top of the mask. And let's start sewing the bottom of the mask. As you can see, I also using pin to tape them align perfectly when I sew with the tape. Yeah, pretty much the bottom of the tape is sewing the exactly same technique with the top of the mask tape. So just repeat the process, and always make sure that the under tape is aligned with the top so that you sew on it. Always though that I prefer to sew on the top of the mask on the tape rather than at the back, because if I sew in the front I can control the sewing line easier and it came out nicer, right? Because when I focus on the back top of the tape and then it's turned down, the sewing line didn't move really nice. And cut the extra fabric of the tape. Now we're done with the tape, and now we can start to sew the side of the mask. I'm using elastic and I tied them together and fold 2 times and sewing on the side that closer to the center of the mask. And don't forget to backstitch from the beginning and backstitch for the end of the sewing line as well, so that it's hold tighter. Do the same thing with the other side of the mask. Ooh, we're almost done. This is the last sewing line. Here we go. Right. Always go backstitch. Here we go, guys. This is our final mask. We have a no edge chest, we have extra pockets, and add more filter if you like. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Stay safe, guys. I'll see you in next video.